Hi, I'm Erin from Cottage Designs by Erin, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a custom-made quilt label. Quilt labels are somewhat important because after you spend all that money, time, effort, and energy actually sewing the quilt, you want some kind of record of when the quilt was made, who the quilt was made for, and whether or not it was a special gift. So there are several different ways you can make a quilt label. Some people have fancy computer systems and they just type in all the information and they print it out of a photocopier. But I don't have access to any of that. So I'm going to show you an old-fashioned way to make a label that's very, very easy, and it's just all strictly made of scraps. So what you're going to need is some scrap material. If your quilt has a beige background, I would cut a piece of beige material. If it has a white background, I would have a white piece of material. What I have used is a series of Aunt Martha iron-on quilt labels. You can buy these on eBay, Joann Fabrics, also Hobby Lobby. They're very inexpensive. I think they're maybe $4 for a package of them. There's 3 in this particular package. So you're going to cut the labels apart, and then you're going to get a piece of fabric and lay the label down flat and press it very gently all the way across, like so, until the design comes up on the fabric. Now, at this point, you have the option of either embroidering the letters on the fabric, or you could use fabric markers, or in my case, I just bought a box of Sharpies and I use Sharpies to color mine. Now, the trick with using Sharpies is you cannot press on the fabric very long in one spot or it will bleed. You have to constantly keep the marker moving across the fabric so that doesn't happen. So I'm going to show you here what I have. This is just a cereal box so it doesn't bleed through. Here is my quilt label. It's already all been pressed on. So then I'm going to get my Sharpie and very lightly go over the words. Now, if you don't like the idea of using a Sharpie marker, you can also buy fabric markers. I've never tried fabric markers. I just always use a Sharpie. I'm just touching on this very lightly, and I'm keeping the marker going. So this just says made with love. And then I'm going to switch colors. I just made my very first quilt for myself. It's different shades of purple and magenta. I'm going to color these letters in. So I'm changing my colors out to match that quilt. These letters on this label are not all uniform in size, so if you're thinking, oh my gosh, the O's too big, the O's too big, I didn't make it. It's how it was printed on here. Okay, so that's done. And then I'm going to sign my name. And 2021 is the year my quilt was made. So then, whether or not you want a decorative edge on this, I mean, I guess we can follow this whole squiggly line around. You want to press down firm, but you don't want to stop moving. If you stop moving, you need to pick the marker up off of the fabric, because if you stop in one particular spot, you will have a bleed spot. Okay, so we're just going to follow the squiggly line all the way around. Okay, so that is my quilt label. Let me put this back up. So it looks like this. Made with love, my name and the year. Then I would take this to my tabletop ironing board. I would gently press under the edges just a little bit so there's no raggedy edge. And then I would pick a white thread and buttonhole stitch all the way around this so that you can adhere it to the quilt. Here's one that I made this morning for my grandson's quilt. I've already got it folded under a 1/4 inch. And then now I just have to sew it onto the quilt. Now, if you're wondering, do these bleed when you wash them? How do they hold up? They will fade a little bit, but they actually hold up much better than you would expect them to. Here's a quilt that I have behind me. And here's the label. This was made in 2018. And it's still on here, buttonhole stitched to the quilt. It says, to Taylor, from Mommy, Merry Christmas 2018. And then, of course, if it fades, you can always go over it a little bit darker. So that is my crash course on how to make a quilt label without any fancy equipment. All I bought were the Aunt Martha quilt labels, a package of Sharpies, and I just used scrap material cut a little bit larger than the size of the iron-on. Cut it out, fold it under a 1/4 inch, and then go ahead and buttonhole stitch it on your quilt. I hope this video has helped you. I apologize for the lapse in my videos. My mother had a stroke a month ago, and there's been a lot going on with that. But I hope to upload new videos in the future. Please like and subscribe my channel. Please leave any comments that you feel would be helpful, and I'll see you real soon. Thank you. Bye.